live. What worked well this past Livecast? I don't know. You don't know?
Oh. You could use the charger there if you want for the TV. It's in range of you. So, should we do the debriefing before the evaluation?
I think we have to do the evaluation first, so that we can do the debriefing, right?
I don't know if it really matters which one that we do first.
Okay.
But I do know the debriefing would be a lot easier if Tina was here. Because she's a big part of that. Oh, she's calling. I would say that the two of them are... Hey Tina, we prayed... are you able to join on Discord? Would that work for you? Or? Oh, okay, because we could all hear you better that way.
Alright, sounds great.
Alright, bye. We'd be able to hear her, right, when she joins?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I think if one was done and not the other, the debriefing would probably be best.
You on server mute myself.
I agree.
Then let's, I'm going to close all the evaluation toggles and open the Livecast debriefing toggle. And it says...
What you gonna do?
February Livecast debriefing toggle. So, Tina, if you click the link that I sent in AY Family Worship, you'll be on the Livecast calendar that we're on.
Sounds great.
Praise the Lord.
By the way, I was excited the whole time.
Can you turn it up? I can't hear.
I was too, Tina. It was pretty good stuff today, huh? A lot of good meat.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I was like dancing in my seat. I
was,
can't do that. I can't do that when I'm with you guys. So I do it in my bedroom all by myself.
What, jump up and down?
Dance in my seat. Get excited.
Why can't you dance in your seat upstairs? Oh, I know you can't do it here. That would be
That's
distracting.
right. You're very distracting.
Okay, that's good. Well, praise the Lord, because that's okay. Well, what went well this past week? Tina's there, so we are good to go. Or this past Livecast.
The production of it. Well, the presentation of it.
I think we spent a lot less time working on the slides this month.
I love the slides.
It was mostly just Tina and I who did the slides. I think
Great.
entirely.
Because the others are on
Yeah, because they're gone.
doing exams.
My favorite slide is that GIF of searching.
I thought of you when I
I
put it on
love
there.
that.
I did that last minute, like minutes before I went to sleep.
We were both going, yeah, late.
How many of you guys noticed the slide with the walk in the light and then with the
I
back
love that
picture?
too. Yes.
Tina, I already have
The traffic light.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I thought that was
I didn't see that one
Sorry.
because I was looking. I thought you were talking about the pathway. Yeah, the two pathways.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
That
one with
one-
more light, the other one was not. It was lit.
I wrote a whole play off of that in 2 seconds.
There you go. I can see that.
Inspired me. Thank you.
That picture's powerful. I love it.
It is. Because it really, what I was seeing with that same path was when you're on the darker path, there's always a little skinny path that always, wherever you're at on that dark path, will always go over to the light path, you know, through the woods, right? Over
That's
there to
good.
it, little run. But when you're on the bright path, you can also take that little skinny dark road off of God's path. And there'll be partying, drugs, sex,
Yeah.
alcohol on that other path. Go ahead, Tina.
Sorry, no, I'm just a little bit distracted.
You're good.
Yeah. I think Carmen did really good at looking at. Well, I want to ask you guys. Well, I'll say I think Carmen did great at looking at the slides in advance. He did the speaker notes, and he did very good at following along. Look at him very much. I think was my eye contact better this time?
Yes.
Yes, it was really good. I didn't notice anything off with your eye contact.
Because that was me trusting Carmen.
Your hair was nice too.
That's good.
I gave you a 9 on that for his eye contact was really good.
What would it take to get the number higher?
It'd have to be perfect, right on. Like you were like living in that camera.
Okay.
Your hand gestures was good.
So when we're talking about what went well, we're talking about the Livecast production over the last month. We're not talking about the delivery. The delivery is the evaluation. The Livecast, like, month of what we've done, that includes marketing it. That includes getting the people over there with Kathy's follow-up. That includes getting the testimonies in advance, putting together, like, galvanizing the team. Everything that we do.
That wasn't in the evaluation.
No,
No,
the
this is the
evaluation
debriefing.
is the
We're changing it.
presentation. We're doing the debriefing.
So the
The
debriefing
debriefing.
is what worked well this past month on
I guess I
the
don't-
sorry. And then-
We're doing the evaluation next.
Oh, okay.
There are two parts.
So one thing that went well is I feel like I got all of everybody's stuff posted on their boards. That was something that was important.
Yes.
I think it all went well.
I think so too.
I did get all the announcements sent out, and then this morning I sent reminders. An hour and down to 45 minutes. Between an hour and 45 minutes, I gave them all reminders.
That's very good.
Yeah, so that went well.
Conrad, did you see something over there?
Yeah, I got a checklist I can use
How'd you get a checklist?
for switching and setting up.
I thought you always had that.
No, yeah, I have one. Have had one,
You updated it?
but it's been updated and I checked all the boxes.
Oh, praise God. That's good.
Use the checks boxes.
Good.
Oh, you
That's
use them.
helpful.
Praise the Lord.
Got all my boxes checked out.
So
That's
people are
very
using their board. That's really good. People
Yeah.
are using their list. That's good. Okay.
Boxes.
What I did this week, like this morning actually, is like kind of create a checklist of the things that I do the day of the live cast, which I want to put on the System Hub eventually.
Oh, that's good.
That'd be really good. It'd be good to put it on there this week so that it's not out of sight, out of mind.
Nice job, Tina.
And you could put that as a task to do, to add the checklist to the to there. You can put it on your daily dashboard at the end of the meeting.
Add the checklist to the.
Updating, I could do.
Okay. So,
Where would you guys think I should put it? Like on the live cast stuff? Like on the live cast big thing?
well, shouldn't it? Well, shouldn't it be right here in front of us? It doesn't. What needs improvement? Okay, measured by key results. Would it go underneath one of those? Step 2, 3, or 4?
She's talking about on the Livecast overview system. Where should she put it on the System Hub?
Oh.
I think wherever you put it on there would be good.
Okay.
I trust you.
All right.
Well, after you
Thank you for trusting me.
For
And
sure.
Tina, when you do that, are you going to also update the live cast over? Is that what
Yeah,
she
the
said?
overview
Oh,
system.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, then so it would be underneath the day of live cast, right? Or do you think it needs to be the day before post?
Day of.
Day.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you, Tina.
And Conrad said he wants to do that also, update the switch
No.
checklist.
I think
too.
you already did.
Oh,
So.
but he wants to update it on the project board though, right? I'm not project board, but on the overview system,
Did
right?
you already do that, Conron?
I think I have, because this one is updated,
Okay, good.
but there's more to do.
There's more to do. Okay.
Okay. So, another thing, I think Tina and I pulled together pretty well this month. We're like, okay, so we're an amputee this month, and we got to work a little smarter, not harder, and really prioritize the stuff that we're gonna do. And Tina did really good at not going like majoring in minor things and start making decisions on higher consequences with the livecast slides and getting like the bare minimum done, the backbone, the skeleton sketch, and then adding things progressively. And so I think that sped up the process a lot, and she took a lot of initiative in putting things together, with slides, with photos, with concepts based on outlines from daily life videos and things, and that was super helpful. Oh, that was another thing. I think this was our first month, was it the first or second month, that we used the leadership tables as a rehearsal. There's a second month we used the leadership table as a rehearsal for the livecast, and where before I was doing it Wednesday, like 7 days from today, at church, which I didn't like doing that, so this is way better. That was way better. I want to keep doing that. We were going to do it a trial run 1 month and 2 months, and I'm like, hey, we should do this.
Okay.
And what we also did is we did we tried to do like each teaching point was a leadership table like theme. So like creating your core values was a leadership table on that. And then like making life decisions with a whole leadership table on that. And so we did it like that.
That's
and it was like super helpful for me. And then what we did is from that leadership table outline, that was fun because like that was one outline I had to do. And then what we did is it's on Thursday. So on Thursday we all got together to see what are some ideas for the daily live videos. And we took the best chunks of like frameworks and concepts from the leadership table and turn them into daily life videos for the week.
Praise the Lord.
So that was like really intentional all the way because it's all preparation for this livecast.
It's waterfalls.
Yeah, it's waterfall. It's like that.
Wow.
And so
That's
as I'm
good.
thinking about it this morning, I'm like, what am I going to say? Like the concern or overwhelm or stress, it's not there because I'm like, look, I literally has been talking about this topic for an entire month. I've done all these daily life videos, leadership tables. Like I'm super prepared. It's so fresh in my mind, and I'm ready to go. And then from this day forward, we'll pivot to the faculty of perception and see what these things mean to us. And what's really cool, what I like a lot, is we now have an asset. We have like daily life, like 30 daily life videos. We got leadership tips. We have an asset of these tools all about making decisions, determine the will of God. Everything that was taught today was taught in daily life videos, but this was just more polished. And we have this resource to give people for years to come. And I think that excites me.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And plus, because you did a daily life video, they have a sneak peek.
And on top of that, this would be also a good topic too for like an event because this is one of the hardest questions people have to ask themselves. I don't care where you go, is how do I find my calling?
Yeah, sure.
And that's which is making a decision and those skills. That's a 3-day event right there.
Yeah.
Things that you taught today were skills.
For sure.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I have a thing that I would say worked really well is you use some of the titles of the daily live video and like mix them into the live cast.
Yeah.
And that was very persuasive.
Why was that persuasive?
I just noticed it and like the way it was worded, it was really nice.
Okay, so the copywriting was approved. That is a good
That's
point
good.
because in the daily life videos, think about it, we got 30 hooks. Because we're doing daily life videos, so we go hook, 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 see which ones resonate the most with our audience, and then the best ones, they rise to the top with more views, more engagement, more shares, and we look at the very top hooks that people like the most, and we
So
take
smart.
those, cream of the crop, and put them into our livecast.
How smart
good.
is
And
that?
just put it out there.
It just really gets rid of all of the noise.
Fluff. Yeah,
Yes.
noise.
Yeah. Wow.
Clutter.
That's
Good
good.
job.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's what Russell Brunson taught us to do in the Expert Secrets book. But this has finally been able. I've known to do this, like at the end of 2019, but it's been just heavy on my conscience that I wasn't doing it. But now I am, and it makes this so much easier.
Praise the Lord.
I think it's great. I've really enjoyed doing the daily life videos.
I think people enjoy them.
Praise the Lord.
I think those are important.
And I realized, like, in my account book, which like, what's a moment you appreciated today? Like this month, it's really stood out to me. Like the highlights of my day was the opportunities where I had to like teach or coach or counsel or help or record or like train on some concept. I'm like, wow, I really value imparting, but sharing good things that have helped me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think one thing that went well is the training for the leaders in-house. I've noticed such a shift in all the leaders. It just blows me away, the shifting that's taking place.
What do you think is doing that?
The trainings that we've been going through.
What trainings? The leadership
The
tables?
leadership, well, not
And
just
some
the
daily life
leadership.
videos that people are doing on their own time, or what?
Michael Hyatt
Oh yeah,
training.
Michael Hyatt. Uh-huh.
And I think that was a big one for a lot of people. I think it
Uh-huh.
helped Tina, didn't you use that also? Michael Hyatt?
Not too much.
What
Oh,
do you think was
honestly.
your strength for helping you to grow as a leader? What's your tool that's really helped?
I would have to think about that.
Okay, it might just be conversations with Enoch, you know?
A lot of times, I think it is conversations.
I taught her a lot of Michael Hyatt stuff, whether she realizes it or not.
Okay, praise
Probably.
that was really I mean, it's still, you know, it's something like Kathy said, go over it 2 or 3 times, the whole
Yeah.
book, just keep going over it,
Yeah.
and it sinks in. So praise the Lord. And Kamran, he's found things that are working for him, which is praise the Lord.
He's making a lot of progress.
What are you using, Kamran, for your
What?
checklist? You're really good at getting all your checklists done. What are you using?
What am I using?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What skill are you using to do that?
Me, his character. Well, not me, but like himself. His character, like part of his character.
What does that mean?
In other words, it's built into you to naturally just work through lists.
Cultivated.
What are you talking about?
You work off lists and you get them done.
Oh.
I look at your stuff and you're always doing lists and you're getting them done. You're getting your stuff completed.
Oh.
So it's a character thing, apparently.
I guess so.
You've done that all your life? Something like that, checklist kind of thing?
Not the checklist kind of thing, but I like getting stuff done.
Did you get her done, or? It's good. So, again, we probably don't want to spend too much time brainstorming all this stuff that went well, but we do want to continue. What needs improvement?
Oh, you know what happened? This time there was a few slides that we skipped that were not like hidden on the presentation, and I think it would be helpful because I got like kind of tripped up, I guess, with the switching.
So, we need to improve a way that I can communicate with you live when I make that judgment decision that I have to skip. Because sometimes, in giving the presentations, I can't use all the same slides. Or when I look at the time or I realize how things are going, I gotta skip some of them. Or some might be a little more redundant. And I could try to think of some more indirect. I'll say like, I'm gonna skip a couple slides, and maybe that could help you to indicate that we're gonna go ahead. And just probably be more vocal.
Or you
with
can
you.
always, well, he's not always looking at you, so I was going to say, there's always gestures that people can use, like touching the ear or something like that, or, you know. But if he's not looking at you, he's not going to see it, the gesture.
I found like there was one time where I was talking
Mm-hmm.
about the pros and cons list, and then I went into Alaska, and you switched, but I didn't look at you switching. I was talking about Alaska, and then I'm like, wait, I want to go back to the pros and cons. So I went back, and then I looked at yours. It was Alaska. I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. He's doing good. I'm like, if we go back to the pros and cons, if you see a little whiteboard on the screen or something like that, and like you're getting those notes, and it sounds like I'm giving them direction, but it's like direction for you. That helps them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe things like that could help.
Mm-hmm.
I could be more intentional with that, so I appreciate. I know there's a few times where I'm like, I know I'm gonna trip up Kamran, but I have to skip these 2 slides. That's good.
It flowed well anyway.
That's good.
As of viewers, we saw one thing, and that was it, and he went right back to it. It's not a big deal.
I guess another thing too is like they don't know what slides they're missing. So
Yeah.
even if there were slides that
Yeah.
are missing, like a lot of the flipping you do is in the preview, which helps tremendously because you're messed up. Like where am I going in the preview? But nobody sees it. They just see me, and it gives you that time. So for you and I, it feels like we're messing up. But for them, they're just like they wouldn't even know what they don't know. So that's pretty helpful.
Yeah.
But I guess what adds to that is like if I'm already showing a slide, then I have to like pull that off and instead show you, and then real quick just go back,
It's true,
click through, and then put them back.
and I'm glad you pulled it off.
You do a great job. Turns out really good.
I'll try to be more communicative with that. Thank you.
So that's one thing that needs to be improvement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy, were you gonna say something?
I was just going to say, why was it blurry? But that has nothing to do with.
Well, that needs improvement. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
it does.
Okay. Why was it blurry so many times?
It was not blurry at all for me.
Okay.
Just so you guys know.
Good to know.
So that might be a.
Alrighty.
Oh, it might
was,
be your signal.
It was
Yeah.
blurry in the beginning, then at 12 it was blurry again,
Oh, that's
and then
good,
at
yeah.
12:30 it was blurry again. But there was clear like 20, 25 minutes in between, and then it went blurry again. So I just started writing down the time codes. I'm going, what happened at those times that it would be blurry?
Oh, good. Maybe you want to go back to the replay and look at those times and see if it's blurry still, because if it's not blurry now, then it's probably just a signal while it was live streaming.
Yeah.
I think it was just the signal while it was
Okay.
because it was perfectly clear for
Yeah,
me.
because with the blur, then came the circle, and that's what I was starting to notice. So with this
yeah, it's
blur,
buffering
then
circle.
came the...
It's called buffering when your video buffers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm glad it was just on us.
That's good. I'm glad you brought that
I'm
up
confused. Are we talking about?
We're talking about what needs improvement on number 2.
for the live cast. Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
live cast.
Oh, so we're talking
We're
about
talking
the live
debriefing.
cast.
Yes. We're
The live
doing
cast,
debriefing.
the month,
Or
the whole month of the live
The-
cast, things involved with the live
wait a
cast.
minute. So we're talking about the live cast and the debriefing.
No, just the debriefing of the live cast.
So,
I'm confused. I don't
so
know what that
the
means.
live, when you say we're talking about the live cast, the live cast is the
Yes.
live cast operations. The evaluation is evaluating me as I was presenting, the delivery of the live cast, the content, and the how I handled my conduct or something. That's what the evaluation is. The debriefing is the mechanics of the live cast and what made this possible, which includes like the technology, includes Kamran's activities and like the different parts
the things that
everybody
you work
does.
on all month long to get to get it up and running.
Yeah, and it includes too the things we did this morning that each part of us did, but not the delivery of the message or like how I like conducted my behavior during the live cast. That's not really what we're talking about. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So, yeah, what needs, there was a few I saw that needs improvement. I don't know why, but I was having a really hard time. Actually, it happens a lot, and I need to like really dig deeper in there and try to figure out what's going on, because I have some like extreme doubts and limiting beliefs about, that's probably one of my greatest challenges daily live videos, is really doubting if what I have to share is actually just helpful to me or helpful to others, and same just like flips the switch on my mind where I'm just like, and I doubt that it's going to help or be received or whatever, and it really perplexes me, and it causes a lot of indecision and paralysis. And also with a live cast like yesterday, I'm just like, and this morning, I was not excited to share because the whole time I was thinking, it's like, this is probably not going to be very helpful. And I was thinking, like, this isn't going to resonate with people. And it is, like, I know it's helpful for me, like, in hindsight, but in the moment, it's like yesterday and this morning, I'm just like, I made a huge mistake choosing this topic. I don't even know if I want to commit to 7 faculties. It's like 7 months. It sounds intense. I'm just like, this is just really doubting the potential that the topic has.
So what do you think? Where do you think that comes from?
Satan.
Yeah, thank you. Limiting beliefs. Okay, so then should we be in more prayer when it comes up, or what should we do? How can we address this? Well, not that.
It's really perplexing for me because I know that, like, what I've expressed before is, I guess it's like the basic human need of, like, significance. Like, is this message going to be significant with people? That's probably one of my greatest objections. So before Tina left, I called everybody together. I was like, look, I need your help. I know when she leaves, it's going to be a lot harder to do daily live videos. And it's not the recording of it that I need help with. It's not, I don't need you to be like, don't forget the daily live videos. That is not what's going to help me. There's not a day or an hour that goes by that I'm not thinking about it. So that doesn't help. What helps me is, does anybody remember what I said would help me the most? What everyone can do? Carmen?
Choosing topics.
Yeah, but and what about choosing the topics that I say would help the most?
That's a good question.
My question for you was, what did you learn or hear recently in a leadership table, in a sermon, in a daily life, in something, in a conversation that really impacted you?
Yeah.
It made a difference and it helped you a lot. if you can tell me like a framework or a concept that really helped you, that would help me to choose a topic faster than anything else. Because I realized the greatest doubt that I have is this actually going to make a difference for people? Is this a significant enough message to share? But if it was significant for you, then it makes more sense to be significant for others. But if it's just significant for me, and I'm like, yeah, well, it could just be me, and I'm like some fascinated in some odd, strange, like niche topic, and that's my joy and not others. Because I have those, and I'm like, I don't want to be sharing these like weird niche things. I want to share things that have a universal appeal, that are going to transform people's lives. So that is what I was asking. Is more of like the like 20% of accomplishing goals, like the mechanics of like recording and actually the schedule of being here. But 80% is the why, the reasons, the mind. It's what's going on is the psychology. That is my greatest issue. And Tina helped with that because she'd always remind, when we talk about topics, she'd be like, oh, this is helpful. This is what people need. Like, people are hurting because they don't know that. Like, that kind of phrasing helps me to be like, oh, okay. And it kind of feels weird because it's like, I don't know, like, it's a form of like outside like validation. Like if you guys are able to like validate that, it helps. But I don't know if that's something that is like, is that unhealthy to want that outside validation in some of these messages, or if that's something that would be helpful, or just something that I'm like, there's going to be times in life where I don't have that validation, or don't have that clarity. I need to do it anyways, and then let things let people
I think it's
decide.
a 50-50% because it is always good to have input because there's safety in the multitude of counselors.
Yeah.
But on the same token, there comes a point where you have to say, Lord, I'm trusting you. We've all discussed it. We think this is the best, and I'm trying to do my best. I'm believing that you're giving me the topics you're giving me. So Lord, I thank you, and that will help because it is a spiritual thing and it is a character thing, and it's a hard one to overcome, but you can do it.
Yeah.
And you did a great job.
And I didn't really overcome that in teaching this Livecast. I was thinking at the very end, and I'm like, I chose the wrong topic. And it was just when I started, I know that I'm not going to start the way that I feel. I have to start the way that it's like, as though, act as like, faith it until I make it. Just like act as though this is the topic to share, and like even to the end of the message, like I'm not sure if this is actually like helping people, but I'm just
That's
doing
good
it anyways.
because that teaches you that you've learned a skill because no one would have caught up on that. I was already thinking that way before because I know the stress you were under this week. I already knew that something was not right.
Yeah.
And because of that, I know myself and different people were praying for you.
Yeah, I appreciate
And
that.
it was amazing to see you embrace the pain and say, you know what, this is what it has to be. And you overcame objectives, which was this is not going to benefit anybody. That was the objective. And you're saying, you know what, I've been trained to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to put the smile on. And you did it. And guess what? It was perfect. It was really, really good. And so, yeah. So that skill was a good skill. So you're learning new skills, which is amazing.
I notice I go through this every time I preach at church, or like I go through this anytime I share, and I'm like, man, like I would like it to go away. I don't
You know what? We live in a world filled with sin, and Satan's always going to have doubts. But we need to learn, like, place doubts in your mind, but we need to learn how to respond to it. And I do want to say that you did really well. Like, I mean, I knew all your concerns. I knew, like, what was going through your mind. But when I saw the live cast, I think that's one thing that, like, made me, like, happy is because I did not see you present any of those doubts in that way. And you shared it in the beginning of the message, like, during the core values or something like that. You talked about, how like Stephen was suggesting, and how you persevered through that. So I believe that was really good. Yeah.
Okay. Kamran, I think, was super helpful last night. I was just laying there, like I knew I needed to do some slides, and I'm like, I want to go to sleep and just avoid this thing. And it's like, but I know the slides aren't done. Just a few more minutes, and Kamran's like, what's the matter? I'm like, what do you mean, what's the matter? He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't think this is the right topic to talk about, and I'm concerned. It's like, this is the very last day, and I made a mistake. And he's like, Enoch, do you realize what is like the most helpful video that we have on our channel? And I was like, no, because it seems like a subjective opinion. Like, what might be most helpful to me is different than what's helpful to you. It's like, well, what do you see as the most helpful? He's like, it was that video about determining the will of God with Willie, and that has helped people. And then it instantly brought me back to a lot of the testimonies. Like, everyone who watches that, they're like, this is life transforming. Yeah. And I'm sharing a lot of the same content, and I was like, that was really helpful, brother, and I appreciate that. It was word spoken due season, and I think hearing comments like that, or those reassurances, or reminding me of the people's lives that were touched by different similar themes, that could be one of the most helpful things when I'm going through that difficult time. Because if I was just if I reminded myself or was reminded by others of how these topics helped others and was proven that it already has, then I think my the last few days would have been a lot easier.
And I hate to say this, but all things work together for good. And the reason I say that is because your team was able to pull together when you were going through your battle. And it was neat to see the leadership step into their roles and just really move. It's just it's been amazing to watch people just embrace an opportunity. It's been amazing. It
is amazing.
Yes.
My heart was overwhelmed with gratitude this morning as I went to sleep, overwhelmed and stressed. I was really grateful that you guys had checklists and you guys were doing it. You guys are stepping up, and I'm like, oh man, if it was just me, I would have bombed this whole thing. But because you guys didn't get discouraged, even though you saw me discouraged, I was really encouraged and grateful for you guys.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It's amazing.
Thank you all.
So I have some suggestions.
Okay.
We have people upstairs visiting, and it would be good to remind them to get their notes and equipment and pens and papers and Google Docs and all that together before it starts.
Are you writing this, Tina? What needs improvement?
What needs improvement?
Those are great suggestions, Mom.
Okay, can you repeat that?
I was saying to remind the people, the visitors who come, to, just everybody, to get their notes, equipment out, like their pens and their papers and their Google Docs and stuff like that. Get that prepared.
Was there guest today,
Yes.
live?
Yes.
Yeah, who came? I didn't see him.
Sienna, Leaf, and Meggie's still here. Sienna and Leaf went and did shopping, but they'll be back to eat it too.
It's good. Okay.
So we had 3 people, but they came right as we were starting.
Yeah, I figured they would.
Yeah, where I told people 10:45 because I didn't want to do setup with people while we're starting it, but it worked out okay. But
Part of it, I think we have to expect people are going to be late and prepare, and instead of having unmet expectations, being upset when people show up late, we could expect them to show up late and prepare and know what could we do in that situation? How could we be proactive with that? And then we don't get upset or any painful emotion, but
You sound like an event planner.
And we don't miss a beat.
That's right.
it's the influences of friends.
Praise the Lord.
But I don't have a solution to that. I'm sure you might.
Well, that's something I have to stop and think about what we could do. Because I think each type of people are coming. Like this time it was a lunch thing coming.
Yeah.
And so there's little things that will determine how we're going to deal with it.
And what I'd like to do is think about how we can grow in bringing more people in person. Because if this is a monthly thing, we have a monthly opportunity to invite people to come locally. I still want the primary audience to be live like that, although live events are a huge blessing. But I think we might be able to do a hybrid where we can record in the studio and have live interaction with people. But if we could do something like that for the people here, it could transform lives. Yes. Yeah.
one thing that we could do to make that happen is because right now, Sister Neggie's just sitting there doing nothing. So if we have 10 people sitting up there doing nothing, that is not the way to do it. So
Exactly.
what we could do.
I'm glad it's Veggie who's
She
doing that.
knew. No, she knew it.
No, I know. I'm
No,
just
we're just
saying.
talking about in the future, like
Oh, yeah.
scaling.
So
like
what I was
5 friends.
thinking is it would be so easy is the evaluation thing for one person to open up the floor while we're doing the debriefing down here, that we have something going on up there where we're actually going through all of that together as a team up there going, well, what did we like, what did we not like? And then it can be brought into the, like, just posted and so people can read through it. You know what I'm talking about? That might be something to do because then they can participate. That's participating.
Yeah,
They're going to watch
participating
it,
is
so now they get to have feedback, which is
Yeah.
great for them and it's really good for us.
It's really good for us.
And it's just, and it's also can turn into fellowship up there afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that this can finish down here. But that stuff could be even where you guys could pull it up because we're sharing the same pages. One page could be up there, and you guys could be down here on that. And
We
you
get
can look
testimonies that way too. Really good testimonies that we can use
at- Yeah.
for.
So it's an idea.
That is an interesting. Tina, did you write that down as an idea?
I did. One thing we could do is have people evaluating and participate that join locally.
How many people do we want to join locally, like in the future?
Well, we have to figure out what we have room for. Right now, we have room for 10 max up in there. So 10. So I say when we get to 10 and we're faithful with our 10, that we should think about expanding for our community.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, we might be able to go over to the church, and then when we grow out of that, go somewhere else.
Whether it's a church or a local, like a more neutral location for a community that people from different places can come, either
See,
one.
that's the neat thing is they can start coming to that.
Yeah,
They can actually come live for it, you know, from like a couple of hours away or fly in for it, you know,
yeah,
if they get familiar with it.
yeah. And if we do it monthly, I mean that seems like a nice. I think there's a lot of opportunity in a hybrid like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, like starting with 10, seeing how much we could do here so that it's not overwhelming or stressful for people, but in a way that people pitch in and they participate, and then it's smooth, and once we kind of work it out with a prototype here, then we can expand to a different building and do a prototype there.
I think that's wise.
Yeah.
You know, you give a little, they give you much. So as we're being faithful with those little things, so yeah, that's good. So what else needs improvement for our monthly things that needed to get done? How did our song thing get
I
done?
still had a couple other things.
Oh, sorry. Deborah,
that's
Deborah, share.
okay.
No. We want you to share. That's good. Please.
Maybe we're going over what could have been improved, and I'm not sure that we're implementing what was needed to be improved last week.
Like
I mean,
what?
last month.
Like what
I don't
specifically?
know. I'm just saying I'm
Oh.
not sure if we're doing that. And so we might want to go over that before, a day or two before we do the live cast, just to look at it.
Well, a lot of the improving was like teaching in the leadership table, which that was a suggestion from last month.
Good.
And then practicing daylight videos and using the hooks from there. That was an improvement from last
That's
month's.
good.
This like 30 days from today, this hour. And there's a lot of improvements that were suggested last month that we did this month, and which is on our work
Great.
went well.
Great. Okay, and then
But basically, so you're suggesting that we connect the dots better between what was suggested last month and what actually took place now.
well, to be honest with you, I don't know if there wasn't anything. I don't know if there's anything that was said that wasn't done or anything.
I get
like
that.
Yeah.
But would you say that it would be more encouraging to all of us that if we could see what was done last month and connect with what went well, so we could trace back how this conversation actually made that difference?
Yeah.
I think that would be important, but I think more than discussing it, somebody should just read it,
Uh-huh.
like at the beginning, and just don't discuss it, but just read it. So like maybe 2 days before the live cast, it should just be read, because I don't think we need to be brainstorming a bunch more stuff.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be read, and then let's get back to business.
Well, I think if we talked about how it was implemented,
Well, the only-
we could
For
be-
it,
That's
for
true,
what
but
worked
that
well?
should have already
Yeah.
taken place in order for us to go back and look at the notes. In other words, all the brainstorms should have been taking place, and now we're just reading the notes. After things are completed, this is just a reminder, right? It's just a thing in your face or not.
they are.
For the debriefing? These what went well, what needs
Well,
improvement?
she was saying 2 days before possibly the live cast itself to make sure that we're
That everything's implemented. and
Yes.
That, yeah.
yes. So
Yeah, and when they get like he's saying, oh, we implemented this and we implemented that, then we can look at this and say, wow, that was great.
Mhm.
That's
The,
what
the only problem is we have to be careful because we talk about we don't like meetings, meetings. Is if we read it, we're able to get in and get out. But as long as we start discussing and we're going to start opening up
So
more cans.
what if what we did is like take what needs improvement from last month and then put in a toggle for our next one for the debriefing?
Yeah,
And then
I was
it would just be
thinking
there.
that's what I was
Okay.
Because that's what we do with the
Sure.
weekly kind of.
Yeah.
Tina, does that sound like something you'd be able to help with next month? Is to take what needs improvement and put in a toggle from last for the next month's debriefing? What is next month?
Yeah,
March?
like I
I think so.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be good.
Okay.
So we talked about the blurry thing, and perhaps the blurry thing's going on because the television's bigger than what our computer screen is and the cell phones are.
It sounds like a Wi-Fi thing. I think it's an internet
You
connection.
think? Okay.
The
And then
buffer.
another thing, I don't know if this is during the debriefing or if this is during the
Right.
thing. It's, sometimes the slides came in too soon for the talk.
There was a few times I did, like 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
that I noticed it.
Okay.
And then, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody. Okay, anybody. I'm just bringing this up.
We like feedback here. We care about growing and developing leaders.
Okay, there was a loud alarm went off and a bunch of notifications, and we were supposed to turn those off.
In here?
No,
Up above.
upstairs.
Oh.
But then when we get people who come in to visit, they don't know any better.
So we need to have some sort of way to set better expectations in advance when they come, prepare them
Yeah.
for
And
what
if
to
you put it on
expect.
the door before you start recording outside the
Oh,
door,
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
so
silent.
you turn off
yeah.
the enter building after turning off phones. So they do it before they even walk in the building.
And
then they
prepare
know.
your notes and pens and
And when they come in and they see that sign, if we just stick it, because they make magnets, you just stick it on there. People already know, like, oh, there's recording possibly going. They automatically will actually drop their voice.
Yeah, they will.
Automatic.
They sure will.
You don't have to talk
They
to
won't
them.
bust in like, hey
I'm
everybody!
here, because that's what I would do. I'm here, everyone.
Diana's like, please give me a notice so I don't do that. And I don't want to be that person because I will be. It's funny.
I thought I had turned my phone off, but I didn't. I don't know.
Oh, it happens.
I told Cameron was in here and I was in here, but obviously I didn't turn mine off.
Well, the
so.
good news is, though, you take that experience, learn from it, and see what made the difference. You've got 4 different volumes, so learning how to use those 4 volumes will for sure help it to not happen in the future.
Right.
So as long as you learn from it, then it's
Yeah. When I go over the notes, I got to turn it off then, not a half an
Somebody's
hour
gonna-
thinking.
yeah.
Oh, the other people are just getting here.
And then the other thing is I didn't write it down. It's something.
Well, it's
Okay,
it's
that's
not.
all right.
Well, they did mention it upstairs. What's her name?
Yeah, but that
I
was
think
that
that's for
was for the
evaluation.
That's valuation. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you don't want to know that right now. I
Yeah.
think it needs to be brought up though, because
So
we're
question-
not into it.
With the last month, Livecast, did the worksheet get done, brother?
It didn't get done.
Didn't get done.
So that's something that says right here underneath which one number.
4.
What's we're not completed number 4. What didn't get done?
Yeah,
Tina
we did
was
get a
what?
worksheet.
The worksheet did not get done.
The
number
worksheet
4,
for last month.
for last month. Okay.
Yeah, so it needs improvement. We really need to find someone who likes creating systems and kind of create like an outline that people can go through. No, he doesn't like doing that. With the
You
li-
do.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean I do?
You
You
doing
like to
outlines.
do outlines, systems, make systems.
Well, I like making systems.
I do. This
I
is
thought
all
you
this
did
is
too.
a system. It's like taking a system video. The Livecast is a system video, and it's breaking down all the actual steps. It's sketching out the Livecast like you would sketch out Expert Secrets or Traffic Secrets book. You're sketching it out and creating all the actual steps, checklists, and giving that to people so they could just mark off like, oh, I did all those. Cross my T's, dot my I's. It's sketching the system. And that's what a worksheet is. It's just another name for a system.
Anything else that we have?
What do you think about that, Cameron?
That opens doors.
Opens doors. I was hoping it would. I've been praying about it for several months. But I knew this, like, I was failing to communicate in a way that it would make sense. But I think going through Traffic Secrets this last month has really helped expand the possibility too, because it's easier to practice with that and then make the connection with this too. So that's good. It does open doors, because I know it's right up your alley, and I was like, been shocked, like, why does Kamran not want to do the worksheet or procrastinate or feel uncomfortable with them? Like, this is exactly what he wants. And as far as the formatting goes, like, I'm not particular on the formatting of a worksheet. Even if it's just a checklist of everything you want to do for actual steps, I'm not saying that's what it has to be, but if it was just like that, I think that's better than giving them nothing. And people just want to take that information, like, what do I have to do? Like, what can I do to make this happen? Or even a list of extracting questions that they just, like, answer, and then they can check off, like, I did it, boom. Now I'm going to get their likelihood of getting the result from the Livecast is drastically higher when they put in that work and it's clear what that work is. And that's like right up there.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna have to go at 3.
Okay.
Or your time.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
We got 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So that was something that wasn't done. Now, should we move forward to evaluating, or should we discuss what else wasn't done? And I don't think our measurable key results, we really had much for that, except for how many.
Brother Musa was there.
Brother Musa was.
Praise God.
Sister
Yeah.
Victoria was there, and Sister Susie. And
That's good.
Sister Shanisha said she was. I reached out to her to verify, but those 3 people said they were going to be on.
That's cool.
And Victoria said, I am on.
That's good.
That would be only our measure. That would be the only thing we have for our measurable key result would be how many people we wanted to come and how many people actually show up.
How many people do we want to come here in person next month?
I sure hope our computer gets better. It's really upsetting when it just goes around and around, goes blurry, goes in, you know. These people are very understandable.
And the next people next month would be understandable too.
Yeah, good. We'll tell them ahead of time.
Well, we always should try at least double. So we should think about having 6 next week or the
Okay.
next month.
I think that's reasonable.
That's double's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want that would be our measurable.
I think we had more than 6 last time. That includes the people here.
No, that means upstairs,
Oh.
not down
Well,
here.
I think that includes like you 3 were upstairs, right?
Yeah, plus 3 others. So
So
got
we
six.
had
It's just
6.
3 visitors. Well, right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
not visitors. How many total,
total,
including
total,
us?
with everybody. So there were 6 already there. So man, if we had 12, that's too many. We wouldn't be able to have enough room early in there. So we would have to
But
implement it by
9.
4.
You could have 9 or 10.
Right.
So I have 9 or 10.
9 sounds good. 6. That would be 10. We added 4 people. Well, so let's add 3. Because if we have 3 visitors, let's add 3 more. So if we have, you said there's 6 up there right now.
There
So
was
we have-
6 up there.
So 9 people.
So
We
nine.
could, we can fit in 9 comfortably.
So we could bring 9 people. All that is like Candace and then Maria, her daughter, Daniel. They're there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
We'd have more than. I think we'll have more than 10. But yeah, that's good.
And Sherry's gonna be there, right?
Yeah,
Sherry's going to be here.
Someone's
We're really
flying
gonna
out
break
from
it.
Alaska to come join us.
That's praise the Lord. Okay.
Praise the Lord. Okay, so that's a goal that we could have. And what feedback would you like to give for the evaluation for the last 9 minutes? And maybe we should do Diana's or
Well, there was
anyone's?
one that Deborah needs to bring up.
Oh, Mom, there's something else you want to bring up?
Evaluation.
Yeah, on the valuation. I filled in my numbers.
Okay, thank you.
They're there.
Oh, Xana, she was saying that your hands
Gestures, I heard her.
were going fast.
That was
okay.
It's good.
But this is the evaluation for the
Presentation.
She said for the last 9 minutes we're going to do that.
Oh,
For,
did you want me to go through?
yeah, well, we all can go through what we have, yeah.
All right. So I got.
Especially, maybe like things. I'll just say this: when you say that something is a 10 or a 9 or it's absolutely great, that doesn't help at all, really. So I really want to know things that need to be improved, things that were not done well, like the gestures. That's helpful feedback. That's what I'm looking for. Not like it was great here, perfect, 10, 10, 10. So if you have something specifically that needs improved, let's prioritize that.
I thought you asked on a scale.
I did ask for a scale, but I want something that's like a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or something lower, not something that's 9 or 10.
Well, I know one question you ask is if you reached the emotional, level that you want. I think that if you ask them to look at the emotion of that, you'll reach it.
So you have emotional response, and you didn't put anything down for it?
I did.
I don't see it.
That's because I didn't write it on there. I wrote it on my phone.
Okay, but you added the clarity and vocal variety?
I didn't add anything on there.
It shows that you did.
Well, I don't. Doesn't
Unless
matter.
Kathy put it there.
I didn't.
I'm telling you, I wrote
mine.
my notes on here.
Mine are when you toggle it down. Then I have mine.
Okay.
And I would encourage them to all
Right.
comment a few times below.
So for engagement, so what number did you have for emotional response?
I thought you didn't want the number.
It says
I
scale
say
from 1
3.
to 10. You give it a 3. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're saying
Oh.
that the way that I can improve is to talk specifically about the emotion that it involves.
That you're trying to elicit. Yeah.
Okay.
Say, have you ever been in a time when, and then whatever that emotion is, so that they
is
can
mysterious
go
an
there with
emotion, uncertain and unclear?
She wants you to put them in an emotional state
Yeah.
so that you can bring them the answer. You want to put them in the boat and it's sinking so that they can get the help.
You do get them in emotional states just by saying the stories and stuff. That'll put them in an emotional state. You do good at that. But I'm just saying that if you wanted to do more to, and I guess 3 is not 7. I don't know, what am I grading it? A 7 or a 10 or a 5?
Oh, yeah, out of 10. All of our scales are out of
Then
10.
I'd say you do a 7. But to get it up another notch to
Oh,
the
to
next
7.
level,
Okay.
then,
The 3 was when she's thinking 1 to 5.
yeah,
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. That's good feedback, Mom.
yeah.
I could be more honed in on the emotion. And you're saying engagement, more call to comments?
Yes.
What number would you give the engagement?
I'd say about, well, you only ask them to write down, once I heard it, maybe I missed it, but,
I did it 3 times.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, yeah, you don't want to overly do it, but not underly either.
I did 3 times in an hour and 15
Especially
I
at the end.
I did hear it a couple different times. He did engage it.
Yeah.
It was like he really made sure
I
that.
thought you did better on
And
that.
I like the fact that he said, "Get you a pen and paper, and I want you to do this." I really like the fact that he tried to get them engaged wherever they were at.
Yes.
To get that out, and I want you to think about this skill.
Yeah, I
And
like
now, and
that
at the
too.
end
And
of
then
it,
tell me down below what you thought of.
and at the end of it, he addressed it again. He said, "Now, I want you to go back and look. Did your numbers change or did it not change?"
Yeah, I like that.
And leave me a comment at the bottom.
I like
I
that.
love that.
And definitely
good.
telling them to leave comments.
That's
Don't
good
assume they're
engagement.
going to.
I like on the comments if you say what stood out the most to you. If you told them something definite to say.
I did. I said, tell me why your numbers improved. What
Yeah.
was it that aha for you to get that number higher?
Okay, that's
and,
good.
And also the comment is not just like engagement is not just call to comment. It could be engaging as in asking them questions, thought-provoking questions, or speaking to them directly, addressing the audience as though like I'm talking to a one-on-one conversation, not like one to many, but it's just like talking and it feels like a conversation. Using stories as a way to engage people as well. So that's all
And-
part of it. So what number did you give me? I'm sorry, I missed it.
On the comment.
Engaging. It's not comment. That's what I'm saying. It's not
Only engaging
commenting
part.
only. It's
Well,
engaging.
I think it's very engaging because
What-
whenever
what
you're
number? You already said that. What number?
1 to 10. What would you give it?
I don't know, maybe a 7.
7. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned this. This is back on what could be improved. Because we need to turn off the internet. If we opened up the evaluation toggle switches and then turned off the internet,
It would
Then-
work.
That would
Yeah.
work, okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't get on. You say you could do it on Notion, but those wouldn't open up.
Yeah, they have to be
Unless
open for you to do
I
that.
put it on. Yeah, okay.
So that's a note that we need to take.
Tina, did you jot that down?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
You might have wrote it a little bit earlier too, because I think she addressed it. I remember her talking about that. To make sure that we have that page open and then turn off our internet. So it needs to be on the checklist, you know, for Kathy on her checklist for the day of the live cast. To make sure that everybody has it pulled up on their computer upstairs, but their internet's off.
So, go ahead, Mom.
Oh, I was gonna say, you had I put it would have been good to show how we could change what we think of ourselves, our emotion. Think of ourselves, because you were saying that when we change how we think of ourselves, then we're gonna know what our I forget what our values are or something like that. And if you show them how to do that, like, you know, right now affirmations or something like that. And that's another way you could get them engaged, just to go through something with them.
Did you see the slide where I had 5 affirmations? I gave them the exact process to find the self-identifying statements, gave examples of what they look like for me, and then told them to go find 20 of their own and write them out. So
I saw that. I saw that you did that for yourself, but I was thinking more like
that was their assignment
doing
to
that
do
with
that
them.
for them.
Yeah.
I can't. It's not a done with you program. This is just showing you what to do, and then you have to do it.
Okay.
Because done with you is a different type of way to deliver the frameworks.
All right.
Yeah, it's more valuable, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
And it's less scalable too. It takes more
Yeah.
time. You can do that at like live events or group coaching, or
Which is good.
it is good.
You need something to spread out.
And
For
do them
those.
all.
Yeah.
And then there was a time when you were talking and you asked a question, then you changed the direction you were going. You went in another direction.
Yeah. So was that last one on actual steps?
Is that what?
The last one that you talked about with the showing them how to change, is that under actual steps? What are you referring to?
I don't know, I guess I could fit there.
Okay.
I have to say, I think this worked well. Taking the mystery out of knowing God's will on a one sheet with all the links on it and all the different stuff. This is amazing.
What one sheet? What do you
The
mean?
one that we're looking at right now. The page that you're on that's called
Oh.
Taking the Mystery Out of Knowing God's.
Oh, so this is on the Livecast calendar. That was your recommendation on our calendars to replace our content machine?
Uh-huh.
Just use toggles to put all of our stuff on one page.
I really like it.
And we've been doing that with the daylight videos and all this stuff, and it's like increased collaboration the whole month
Drastically. Wow.
with everybody.
Praise God.
It's all in one place, it's clear, it's super good.
I really like this.
I like it a lot too.
Mm.
It's a blessing. So what else do you see needs to be improved for the evaluation?
Hi, Tina. Is that you leaving?
God bless
No,
Sister
that's
Tina.
not her leaving.
That's all I got now.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you, Diana?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You said that
I didn't
3 or
see
4
anything
times.
the only thing that I agreed with was Zena upstairs when she was saying that the hand movement, I thought it was better than the last time. I thought the hand movement was, everything was good. It was really good. There was more hand movement than that older people, will catch on than other people. But as a whole, it was really good.
Well, it's
Much
good to know
better.
that there's progress.
It's progress for sure. Like probably 2 more points up the ladder. It was
That's
that
good.
good.
That's
Mhm.
very good.
And where you were standing, the everything was really good. And I like how you handled when the camera was not working, how you handled it with everybody, you addressed it, I thought that you handled that well. I thought that was correctly done. That's how you would
And
handle
when
it.
the TV turned off,
Sure.
and I was praying for it.
We have to figure out
so
what
set up.
that is because we've had problems with this over and over again. So we have
This is
really got to
it's
figure this
third
out.
time it happened.
Yeah.
Why don't
So
we swap out the television?
I thought of an idea that we could do. It's not the television, it's the Screen Beam Mini. I could plug this in over there. I don't have to have this in front of me. I don't look at it. I could just use this to control it. And even though it'll be far away, I'll strain my eyes, but I could look at this and then that will probably fix it. If I don't use the wireless Screen Beam Mini, the Screen Beam Mini is what shuts off and stops. So if I just put it hardwired with the HDMI cable to the TV and this, it should happen.
Well, let's try for some of our practice. Let's have a practice run or something with that. And
You
see
could
how
even
that,
have a long cable.
or a long cable.
Long cables are like messy and then big, and they don't make the HDMI's go very far.
That's because they don't hold up when they go very
they
far.
lose their signal the
Yeah.
farther they go. I think the limit's like 25 feet or something like that.
But I have a.
But I don't need it in front of me.
Okay.
I have a thing. It's called Amazon Fire Stick. That might help.
Mine.
You could try that. So-
I really think plugging it in with the wire will work just fine.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. Carmen, what did you see that needed to be improved?
From the presentation? Well, it did seem at times that you were like uncomfortable. Because you probably were more inside than outside.
Do you know like which specific times? Or like any specific time?
I think some of the times was like when we were like skipping.
Yeah, those are the
Besides-
times I was the most uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about time, and I was trying to make decisions of what should I skip.
Yeah.
But you handled them well.
It was like
And not who we were at.
not. I don't know. Well, I do know, but I say it. I'm not sure when we started the first teaching point, but we were like half an hour into the live cast and you're still on the first teaching point.
I think
I thought about that too.
that's been the situation for like the last 6 or 7 live casts. They all take about a half an hour for the first one. I'm not too sure what. Well, you know what I think does that though? I think what does that is the inner circle
Introduction?
and the intro, and that probably adds another 8 to 10 minutes or
It
something.
does. It was about 8 minutes. 7 to 8 minutes is how long the intro took.
I was thinking about that this morning, like how can we like resolve that? But that makes sense.
It does.
Because I always see that, and I'm like, it freaks me out, and I want to like rush through all the other ones.
Yeah.
But okay, well then, how about we close with a word of prayer? You want to pray for us, Mom?
Sure. Dear Lord, please send an angel to be with the work that we did. Please help it to reach who needs it the most. And I pray that their electronics will work as they're watching it, and that they get the benefit that you would want them to have. Please help the angel to guide their hearts and their minds. And thank you, Lord, for letting us come together to do that. That you trust us to do something so profound and so important. Please be with us as we create the next months, and help us to improve it, to do it the way Christ would if he was here. We love you, Lord, and we thank you for everything that you've done for us. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I thought of one improvement. Sorry. One that stands out is the donation page. Because when we get stuff out there, we want to encourage people when we talk to them. It's like, yeah, if this helps you, we really want you to, not necessarily this, but in general, whatever we even send any kind of link with anybody that we're talking to, we want to say, if this really helps you and you can use this, think about donating to the Army of Youth. Make a contribution so that we can get to reach other people too. And people will give. When things change people's life, they want to give.
They do.
And that's a form of income, but it's also a God kind of income.
Yeah.
It's not a work kind of income, it's a God kind of income.
Yeah, because income is value added to the marketplace. When you add value to people's lives, they want to contribute
Yeah, they do.
financially, support the missions they believe in.
And people give to places where they see that people are actually, lives are being changed. That's why they want to give. They don't want to just give to because it's a big ministry or they have lots of teaching. They want to go to people that are actually making a difference in the community. When they hear
those are
testimonies, that's when people come.
Yeah, testimonies.
And that's people can give. That's when
Yeah,
people give.
it's true.
Well, I'm out of here, you guys. God bless.
Okay.